This is After Hours at Large, and I am your host, Dr. Adilaja. For the first season, join me alongside a few house officers in the 2023-2024 batch at the Federal Medical Center Owo and learn what it takes to navigate life as a doctor out of medical school in a place far away from home. Welcome to After Hours at Large. I am your host, and I'm here today with a very wonderful somebody. Before I talk about how wonderful this somebody is, I need to allow you to know that this human being has first in my life. Because we have been recording this episode with our mouth for how many weeks now?
About two.
About two because you so long. We've been recording this with mouth, but we just had never had the time. But today, I heard, somebody is packing out, somebody is moving. I was like, oh my god, my episodes, I've not recorded this. I think my episodes one by one. I'm talking about to sit down with myself. So we have Dr. Omugo.
Thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. So can you tell us about yourself?
My name is Dr. Omugo Owo.
Yeah.
And I'm from Benue.
Okay.
Then
Where in Benue, please?
Ohimini precisely.
So I know that one.
Alright, then I graduated from Benue State University.
Okay.
And then that one is a different ball game because school was so long.
Like how many years?
10 years.
I'm asking you because the community already has 2 years.
And the really funny thing, as in when I went to school, there was no grey hair. In short, my bald head, I have hair down to like, and then at some point in 400 level, I said and I started saying, Omugo is losing his hair. Omugo, and I said, is it true? I went to the mirror and I started seeing hair is falling off, and all of a sudden I saw one strand of grey hair.
Then you plucked it out.
I plucked it out. I tried. I even tried.
You think that plucked it out?
It's
not scientific. You need to plug grey hair like this. It goes back to the vengeance.
I plucked it out too at first, and the next time I saw two. After a while, it was found three. Yeah. Okay, this one I think I should get access.
Yeah. So 10 years in med school.
10 years in med school. I think I got admission 2013, 2014 section.
Okay.
Then started school like late section December.
Okay.
Then spent about 4 years or so into clinical.
Wow.
Third year into medical school, we wanted to write our Part 1 exam.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the HOD of anatomy then said our class was not ready.
Okay.
So she now filed a letter like that to the college. The college now moved the exam for like a month. Within that space of 1 month, one strike just entered there. That was how we now spent another 1 whole year before we took the exam.
That man is not, attack that man at all.
He can't attack that man though. Politically, he has ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what stays considering that. So after that, you after that 4 years in clinical, then after clinical class.
Yes, then in clinical class now, before you know it, COVID entered.
Obviously, everybody's saying 1 year for COVID.
1 year extra in COVID. Then I think after COVID, it was a smooth run after them. Yeah, it was a smooth run after them.
So how long did you now wait after medical school before you started house job?
We were inducted around August.
Okay.
Then I started house job October 10th.
Okay, so I also need to mention that we're speaking from a medical officer.
Like
it's not easy. So you said October 10th.
Yeah, October 10th.
How was it like, coming all the way from Benue to Owo? How was it like?
When I was choosing FMC Owo. FMC Owo was never in the list of what people have to
Okay.
complete. Okay.
I don't think it will have been any.
Yeah,
Oh, what were you thinking of?
I wanted to go to FMC Makurdi,
Makurdi.
and I also wanted to go to FMC Sophie.
What are you thinking of FMCs? I know like taking messages and everything. Is there
See, after you spend 10 years in medical school, you still want to go to teaching hospital so that they might be looking at you as students again.
okay?
I don't want that from my guy.
You wanted independent.
Like, I just need to change environment from the core teaching hospital so that it won't look as if after training this guy, he's still showing some level of incompetence and all of that. So FMC was never part of it. Then one night like that, I was like praying, after praying at about 3 or so, and I started seeing messages popping up on WhatsApp. The portal is open, the portal is open now. Then I now said to all those the place I want to go to, none were there on the portal. Now saw FMC Owo. Somebody told me about FMC Owo once, but then he is not even a medical personnel, so just a friend who stays around. Not that the place is fine, their entrance is fine, the gate is fine, all of that. Well, funny enough, I now choose the place.
Because you the gate is fine.
Yes.
I think no, your work is at the gate.
Because
you are doing security work.
Don't mind me. Then when I now chose FMC Owo, my classmates were now like, if you see so place, so start telling us where you sit, like we will know. I now put FMC Owo. I was the only one here from Benue. Like seriously, all of my friends. Some went to Cornut, then others went to Niger State, then some Kogi and all of that. Then after FMC Owo, a friend of mine now said, Hertzman attack zone, that's where you are going to.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've never heard of it before.
Oh, really?
I've never went and Googled it. And I saw it.
Oh.
I said, God, now, wow.
And you prayed before you started choosing it?
I told you, I was even praying for that to be open at that particular period.
God, no, I got pray at that week.
Early in the morning, Potter shut down again.
Oh.
So that was how I now chose this place. But then I just made my mind one and said, are people not living in FMC? Okay, after that very incident, nothing serious about that happened again. So let me just come. On getting to this place, I came on a Friday.
Okay.
And I entered this place at 5.
Okay.
I was not looking for a place to stay. I came here blindly. I didn't contact anybody. I just entered.
Do you know anybody now?
I didn't know anybody, but at least now.
That was when that story the gate is fine.
She was staying somewhere 3 hours away from this place.
No matter.
So I now started looking for places. And I saw, it was the first person that I met was Dr. Laia, and one other doctor like that, of which I've forgotten his name. Then a senior colleague who now set me to secure a forum to stay. Then they now introduced me to Dr. Sayo. That guy has energy. Sayo has energy.
I've not met him.
I didn't know. Yeah, actually we didn't meet him because he was like 2 months closer to rounding up outset when I started. That's why I used me to set the whole of FMC.
Is this the person that you do call what it is at the same time?
That's because he does call for a job. So you can do call for 1 week straight and he still has energy to go for another 1 week again.
Yeah. Where do you find the energy?
I don't know. I was not asking how your alpha as in when you get energy, you say bro forget. My other brother they do this one past me first. I say
this message is familiar.
It's familiar.
Okay.
I think I should be calling for a week. So I got an apartment outside the hospital. Okay. Divided by the hospital.
Okay. You express heritage.
No, heritage.
Heritage. So you said heritage how long?
3 months.
3 months. So you now moving.
Before I'm moving.
So you started the posting where?
Before my posting, O&G was my first posting.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it.
You did?
O&G is one of my best courses. And after O&G, I think it's called the international medicine lab because I was essentially inactive there.
Oh, let's go with the ranking.
Mm.
Before we pick O&G, I was like,
O&G was like, okay, first day I was a bit tense, but after 1 or 2 days, I now got some comfort, like some stability in handling patients. And then, in short, my starting of line, the first time I started line, it was with that doctor. Immediately I just handled the cannula. They were, that is not how to handle it. You are doing it wrongly. He discarded that cannula. He took a new one that I've already infected it. I should not put it in the patient's hand. So I now left it. Then on second attempt, he just let it slide there. Then after 1 or 2 attempts, I got comfortable with having a plan. So he was the first senior reg I met within the department. Yeah. And experience with him was fine, only that he's too active.
Is he an active team? For me, I would say he's not a good teacher.
So,
yeah.
I think he pushes
no, I would say he's not a good teacher. Although we have like our own little bit of problem because from the first day I met him, I had no interest in O&G.
Okay.
And he just hated me. We just had a mutual hatred from that point.
Okay.
And every time I did CS with him, he's always angry and snappy and shouty and
he will tell you to pull.
So you should not even the pulling, like, so other people deliver the UTS before they appear. It does not deliver the UTS. It will take the UTS inside. Now, this is boutique work. I'm learning. So we're always struggling. So at the end of the day, it just kind of takes over the surgery and I can't. But I did with every other person. And I did it well. I did this with other people. I did with consultants, I did with regs, with SRs, consultants and other SRs, Olaupa, like all of them.
Yeah.
And I enjoy, in fact, there was when I did the Dr. Bela Falabi that I made a mistake. But I still came out so confident that I did something. I was going to do the next years myself. I was going to lead the next years, finish the mistake. Now, I was so confident working with other people. But Dr. I do not like working.
Anyway, if you say he's not much of a good teacher, I will agree with you partly. But then I see it that he is this kind of person that
that's the problem.
Exactly. I think that's
what's making a terrible teacher. He is not patient. He doesn't realize that the person you are teaching is not on the same level as you are. This person is just starting out.
Yeah.
So this person is obviously not as confident in one. This person is shaky too. You cannot be doing your IE, your fast technique, and you're angry at getting your fast technique. How am I going to get the technique? Sir, take me the natural way of doing CS. Deliver the CS. I'm so comfortable with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of we train our CS very well because I'm so comfortable with a lot of doing CS. To deliver it like this, we have this one. I already know the line. I already know this thing. You put I'm not putting your legs, put your feet.
But wait. I think even if you don't deliver the uterus, it will not be as if you are closing the uterus in a closed space.
Yeah, that's what it does. That's how it closes the uterus. There's no more space to manipulate. And for someone that is learning, I can't manipulate in that closed space.
Yeah.
You know the starting.
I know.
I'm always close to tears anytime I'm doing tears. Like, I feel the tears and I'm just like, hyperventilating.
Sorry. I just, anyway, although my experiences with him are not that sweet per se, but then somehow I just go back to my syllabus and say, maybe he just wants to push me to a limit so that I get comfortable with things. But then somehow, even pushing me to a limit at some point, I lose my confidence at that spot. And then I now try to gather myself in order to match up with the speed of his surgery. But then come to think of it, I think I still enjoy some of it.
I mean, you do baby cook after you are stressed with baby cook. You baby story after you are stressed by life. And the day I did my presentation, it was like all the bad impression I have on me has changed. But that reputation I did it so well. It was so proud. I can't buy drinks for myself. That we have changed the impression. But unfortunately, that first impression that I had of him and the working,
Never changed.
that thing never changed. Like I'm just like, you know, so you want to accept that this kind of person, this is how you. But it's not somebody I would like to work with in the long term.
Okay.
Yeah, like it should be worked with in small doses.
In fact, at some point, I was even thinking maybe I should even come back for ONC.
Oh, really? Okay.
But then something now actually changed.
Okay.
Now, although I wanted to do from med school, I wanted to be a surgeon assistant.
Okay.
Then when I now got to the field itself, I now start seeing that I think I am more of an active person than I don't know how to put it, but then you know how active the surgery section of this profession is.
Yes.
So I was now thinking, okay, I want to be an obstetrician. But then my fiance now said, I said, wait, let me go through all the before I will now make a choice.
Okay.
Then when I now went to surgery, I said, I think I should do surgery.
Don't let us rush it. I like to see the realization that surgery is the best place to do. But I think my best person working in ONG is Dr. Omugo, of course.
Dr. Omugo.
Of course.
I used to be friends around her.
At the first part, at the first 1 week, 2 weeks, you may not be comfortable with her. But at some point, you just realize, she's actually joking. Like, she's chilling with you. So once I just realized that, she's actually chilling with me, it just became too much easier. Just look and give me and we are children, you can't give me, what are you saying? But it's just get really close to her. And once you do your job and you are moving on, like, it's not like you do your things, do your job, do your things fast, and you are getting on with 50% fast. And she has confidence. I do like the one call. Then when you just say when I really like working with her. The other person I love working with is the Ola.
Oh, Dr. Lapa is a nice guy too.
I love Dr. Lapa.
I
It was the only person that when he came up from Akure, when he came up from Akure, I was so happy to see him. I was so happy to see him, man.
Dr. Lapa is very nice.
Yeah, he's really nice to work with. And okay, because I was also with us in Akure. Okay. And he was even that Akure, you just see. You know there's no rule, no stress in Akure now. So it would have come in the morning to see the patient and just come back and do post-round. Sometimes we see the patient, just like this, to see the patient, no problem. Just working one or two, just fast. Stressful, like, and it doesn't really take you like this person is my junior colleague, like take you as my junior colleague. Yeah, you take you as you are my colleague, like we are on the same level. I just know a bit more than you do about this work. Yeah, so it does not look down, it doesn't take you as someone lesser than, so it's joking with you, talking with you, encouraging you. They are doing the work together, like this can understand.
In fact, I think the first time I met Dr. Ola, the way he talked to me, I was not feeling like I used to this guy is doing a senior right? Because it was so cool. Like I was just expressing myself, not knowing that I was even like standing before my superior. But then we just talked, we laughed, we just talking randomly, and it was fun.
It's very like there are a few people that make you feel like working with a colleague and not just a senior. Like by the time you remember, like in fact nobody will remind you that this is your guy. Because you two have that respect. You know that everything happens to a meeting, like, I don't understand this thing. You understand, you get. And you say, when I go, I will work like people. It's so easy to work. It's so easy to work with. So, overall, when you say, after, you went to Akure now? How many weeks you spent Akure?
2 weeks.
Oh, okay, guys.
Okay. Akure is busy.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Because very, very busy.
Yeah.
But you know me, a kind of workaholic kind of person. So I enjoy the busyness there.
Yeah.
Then after at the end of my 2 weeks there, I was not like, I even feel like even finish my own person there in Akure. The thing was just the nurses were cool. The consultants there, Dr. Debbie, was cool. And then this other guy that does surgery in minutes. What's his name? What's his name? Ah, anyway, that guy is super fast in CS. God, 10 minutes, baby don't come out. No, like seriously. The next day you say, please, give her food, give her this, please, come and go home. That man is super fast.
Yeah, I remember his name.
He's super fast.
I don't remember his name. He was on leave when we got there, but I'd met him here because we called him Manji one third procedure.
Okay.
So he came and was really open to see us when we come to our career, but by the time we got up here, he was on leave.
He was on leave already.
So what this sounded like too much fun for you?
Yeah, in fact, O&G was fun. It was fun. I mean, serious fun. Like, I enjoyed all the rush. I enjoyed there was so much action. You understand? There's no inactivity at all.
Yeah. So after O&G, you went to?
After O&G, I went to internal nursing. So that place, I was basically sleeping. Yes, I was basically sleeping.
Oh, the difference with internal medicine and O&G?
Internal medicine, okay, I started my posting there with endocrinology, of which I did almost 7 weeks there.
Okay.
And then at some point, the consultant there was on leave. And then we're basically not seeing any patient at all.
Okay.
We're seeing any patient, we're not seeing anybody. Then before you know it, we just come to morning review, and the next thing we are in our lot already. And then so I was basically not doing anything, and then after asking myself, am I really learning anything at all?
The problem you didn't meet Mama in endocrinology.
But then towards the ending of that 7 weeks.
But how come you did 7 weeks? They didn't rotate you at the end of it.
Okay, what they did was that the rule then was, if you come in the middle of the month,
you stay to
that month end, and then when they want to rotate people, you still remain in that very unit.
Okay,
that was what it was before.
Before the now change it
before they now change it, that even if you come at the middle of the month, you have to rotate with others if they are rotating. So that was how I now spent that 7 months there in
7 weeks.
7 weeks.
So from ND now went here.
Remember, I concluded that posting in Vienna.
So you just two posting?
Yes, I just rotated twice only.
Oh, sad.
It wasn't really sad. I enjoyed my Vienna posting too.
No, I feel sad because you didn't get to experience. Like now, I feel like, okay, after this month, I have 1 more week in internal medicine. So I probably now end up doing 4 rotations.
Oh, 4
because I've done renal, I've done endo, I'm in New York, and the last week of I'll just repeat. It's good to do. Last week of it's so nice. Okay. So that was when I was like, when I was nice. Did you attempt to start to do it in work or
I prayed for it. I was looking forward to it, but I never had the opportunity to pass one. But then I kept asking frequently. That maybe you say, don't worry, when anyone is coming, we will not stimulate. So I was so unfortunate in the sense that anyone that is to come for cannulation, most of the ones that come for cannulation will be maybe patients who have laughter. And then they will say, they need an experienced hand, and the person will have to go and wear
that PPE
stuff. And I say, Mr. Omugo, don't worry, the next one will not see the laughter patient today.
How come you're having a lot of laughter patients?
I don't know. I think that window was a window for laughter patients to stay, because they were just sitting in. In fact, at some point, we were getting laughter patients consult from ICC most of the time. I think during my stay there, it was most of the consult we got.
Okay, but you can look in the laughter ward. Or they come to do dialysis in the...
Yeah, they come to do dialysis in the renal ward.
Yes.
And then most of the time, the nurses there will have to down with the PPE. And then it's a colleague of us who knows how to cannulate, go down with them and do the cannulation. So that was how they usually do it. Yeah, for those patients who are having laughter.
Okay. So basically, apart from the inactivity in nursing, what else do you say about nursing?
It was more of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of stuff. Like they just be asking you questions. What is this? What is that? How do you do that? Although that set us to actually like blend in and also try to help us recall some things that we already did before. And if the collection of information is not fast enough, we want to go back to our books because we know now the next time we have time we don't know it. We will be safe. So
Some of us don't really care about that, Jerry. You
yeah.
don't know.
So somehow, but then again, the saving grace there. Each time they ask you a question, do you money with you and you don't know, the answer is this is the
Okay,
bank.
making the job. I think I'm a lot is when you just put it together, I'm just like, oh, God, it's
So
so
and then the funny
actually
thing
bad.
is that they too will actually bank. I don't know, sir, but the problem with that place is sometimes there will be activity and the register will just spend all the time doing all the work. And then they won't even have time for themselves to even study. So even though they even back on it, I don't even blame them.
Yeah.
Because the system is so like I get this approach really
Yeah,
active.
so true.
They are very, very true.
So it was also around this time that the House Officers representative election thing was coming up.
Yeah,
So what motivated you to, throw your ass in the ring and try to like, run for House Officers?
Okay, before in FMC Owo, House Officer position was not an election thing.
Okay.
So it was a thing of the most senior House Officer to be effective then. So it was something like yes, that was for the first. There was no election until when it comes to my own time to become.
Because I thought you said Munai just decided to do it.
No, it was not his decision. It was a suggestion
Okay.
that was put forward to him, and he saw it to be actually right for the people to make their decision of who to rule them for a particular period of months. So it was actually a nominating stuff.
Okay.
So I think when I came, it was Dr. Stanley Ogbonna who was the HO then. Then while he was going, Moneri was the most senior.
Okay.
So he passed the baton to Moneri to take over. Then when Moneri was going out, I was supposed to be the next HO rep. Then the suggestion from other colleagues for an election came up.
Okay.
And then when suggestion is put forward to you, as a leader, you need to reason it through. If it is nice, then you have to go for it. So we saw it as a wise suggestion. So the man said, okay, let us run an election. He spoke to me that this is what happened there. So if you are interested in the position, you should put in for the election. I said, okay, me, I have some, okay, like I'm a leader. And I've heard various positions like religious positions and school and some other stuff like that. So I feel I did well in those places. So I think I should be able to deliver here too. So I now decided to show interest in the position. Yeah. So that was how I took interest in it. And then, unfortunately, I didn't win. But then, the person that won actually did it very nice.
Yeah.
Did it very nice.
You were part of his council.
Yes, I was part of his council. After the election, and then he won. I think I came. I can't remember the voting again. I think I came second or third. Yeah, second or third on the list because we were two. For that position. Then after he won the election, he reached out to me and the other guy and some other person to join his council of leadership. So and he did well actually. Because that is what a leadership is. Like try to incorporate others into the running, the smooth running of that very tenure. And I think the committee actually did well. They did very, very well. The organization was perfect. And they did very, very well.
As a member of the committee, it is us, the outsiders, that will say to do well. So
Sorry, I'm actually giving credit to myself that quick. But then, now, if you do something well, you should actually tell yourself you did well. Right?
Let's get this right. So after, so this was towards the end of nursing, right? Or while you're still in nursing?
I think it was towards the end of nursing. Yeah, towards the end of nursing.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was like, I was left with 6 months to finishing. I believe it was left with like 8 months or so. 8 or 7 months or so. Yeah, I think it's 7 months.
7 months.
Yeah, 7 months. So he then became the president then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after internal medicine, you went to surgery. Yes, surgery. Okay, I remember meeting you when you were in internal medicine because I used to know you should like cold.
I said I was.
Cold. That was what I knew you for. I
got called twice or so.
I heard them that if you don't want to do your call Dr. Omugo.
Oh, somebody even recommended me.
Yeah, that was just a recent call Dr. Omugo. So I was like doing that. Even though you did it twice, I was like doing that.
Okay. Doing somebody's, I mean, buying call at times can backfire on you. God, you won't sleep throughout the night.
What was the rate like?
Okay, at first it was around 9%. Then after a while it became 30. Yeah.
That was
okay, maybe they go and maybe do any call.
Okay.
But then I did I bought call twice, and then I wanted to pay some bucks.
Okay.
And I said, okay, I think 10K is very fine money to spend within the week. And then my account will take a break. So that breaking space for my account is a cool thing. So I just take some calls. And then sometimes, most of the time, if I am indoor, I get bored easily. Like, I like walking.
Activities.
Yeah, so.
You try reading a book, not medical book, like a novel or something.
Okay,
I'm trying to stop it with you.
I understand.
Read a book, watch a movie, exercise, try yoga.
Oh, yoga. Okay, I read books actually. I read books a lot. I love reading books. Okay. Yes. And then I read most times motivational books, and then sometimes spiritual books.
That's the problem. Try fiction.
I should try fiction. Okay, I think I read fiction once.
Try fiction.
I think I read fiction
once. It's up to the imagination. It's very imaginative. Like when I'm reading books, it's like I'm actually moving my head, not thinking. It's really up to the brain, imagination, and everything. You should try it. I'm telling you.
Okay, so I read one fiction book once, but then I've forgotten the name. It's about crime and investigation and all of that. Although it was actually interesting. I got it from a friend, God, how do you watch it?
What can I say?
He reads a lot. Then, yeah, I watch movies too, but after watching one or two, I get tired. Yeah,
so you just need to do something.
But then, I think I prefer reading books compared to watching a movie because it engages me mentally than how movies engage me mentally. Yeah, so I can read books for a longer hour and not even get bored. In short, I might just get hungry, just go find something to eat and then come back to it again. Yeah. So then apart from that, talking about exercise, now you cannot be doing exercise in the middle of the noon. You understand?
You can do yoga in the afternoon. Okay, anyway, let's move on from that. So now, so I would just did a lot more EMS calls than the average person.
I did a lot more what?
I'm asking. From you taking a few other calls more than your normal calls, you will have done a lot more EMS calls than others. The whole point of this action is, what do you say about EMS calls? How was it like?
EMS call is sweet. The adrenaline here. When you enter you even know when sleep just sleep is just out of the window already. So I think EMS call is fun for me, and at some point after finishing house job, I was thinking of taking an MO job there in EMS. But somehow, the particular that came out for job advert didn't include
medical
the medical
officer
position. Yeah. So I think EMS calls are fun because you get to see, look, it builds your confidence in jumping into taking care of emergency cases. Yeah, So imagine you've not had enough exposure in your EMS course, and then you are out there somewhere, and then something happens. The first type of those kind of emergency room, you want to stay off balance, yeah. But then if you've had some exposure before, it should be as if, okay, this is just a rush to get somebody saved. So you just jump into it. But just by jumping into it, it probably means that first of all you should think, protect yourself first.
So after next thing you were in service,
yes, I was.
What was the other for the physical person like?
Okay, I did general surgery first, then and I did urology, then plastic surgery, then orthopedic. Yeah.
So now let's go back to how you realized that surgery was the love of your life.
Surgery. Actually, I love the cutting.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, somebody once said, "Should that be a surgeon or an Italy?" So let's go on.
Okay, so I love the cutting. That is one, and then two, I love how their management is. Their management is like, if you know the course, just enter, fix the course, and the person is going home the next day. You understand? Now, that's how I like to be. That's how I like to be. It's so easy. Just know the cause of the problem, fix it, and the person is home the next day. But then look at internal medicine.
Yeah, because we always have to talk to the physician. Continue.
My dear, my first week in internal medicine, every day, one or two deaths. I was not asking myself, is this how I'm going to manage patients palliatively until they are great? Like, and I said, no, there's no way I can even do internal medicine. Then, when I now got to surgery, 1 month, no record of death yet.
You have like 2 people with some of these things. You know how life is like?
Like, I think, no, surgery is far more
better, superior than
compared to internal medicine. But then, now, anybody that is doing internal medicine wants to defend their own profession.
Yeah.
So, I think surgery as something as a 16, and me, I know how to fix things a lot. So I think I will do better in putting my hands into correcting things that need to be correct, and then corrected, and then if need be, I will just try to fix things and get it done with as soon as possible, instead of managing palliatively for a long period of time, and the person don't even have the hope of going back home.
Okay. I just feel like we should also say that we're not saying physicians are not doing anything. Because,
Exactly.
All the things that they can actually solve, they can solve them. It's just the time.
Yeah.
So now, I was referred to this like,
my surgery session was kind of cool, and I really enjoyed my surgery session. Yeah, as much as I enjoyed O&G. Yeah, so because I found it more lively compared to my internal medicine session. So I think I really enjoyed surgery session.
You know how in general surgery, like people say, like there's no definite. There's a time you come to work, but there's no definite when you finish work. How was that like?
Yeah, general surgery is crazy.
Yeah.
Very, very crazy. In fact, the most dreaded day of the week in general surgery is Thursday.
Okay.
That consultant round. Then, whenever that round starts by 9, you guys just find that you'll be standing up till about 5:30 or 6 or something. So And then clinic days, some days are cool, but then hot day the preparatory clinic.
Okay.
You have remember the folders you will see on table.
God save my life. No, we're living on this.
Oh, you are lucky.
Yeah, it came after. And we came back in the room, we learn as much.
You are lucky. Oh. Now, there was, I think, my first day with the preparatory clinic in general surgery. That was when they now tried to tell me how to administer chemotherapy to patients. Just when I left that day. Anyway, it was even earlier than that, 7:30.
30 minutes,
30 minutes earlier than. But then, some of the lines were so difficult. All the things are just hardened.
Exactly. And we are saying like you'll be giving chemo. Clinic, everybody will like all the nurses will have left clinic. Everybody will have
They will leave with
they
your.
will leave you, only you and your patients. You know the distant with the doctor will call in emergency, guy alpha. But I think it was during that time that my illness kicked in again. And then one day I was standing on that, you know, from that, you can see that.
Yeah,
And
you
the
can see
nurses are
that.
just sitting on it.
Yeah.
I'm honestly
Are you serious? You said jump.
like that was the thought. And I was going to, but I was like, I was going to, and I realized, and I looked down, because I was going to jump, then I looked down, and the emergency was quite busy, there was like one faster patient, I was like, if I jump down, no, the emergency was not busy,
Okay.
so I was like, if I jump down, they will save me, if I was not down.
God, that beg you.
Well, the good news is that when I finished surgery, that was when I started my psychiatrist again. But I'm serious. Like, that was this. This I love surgery. I really do love surgery.
Okay.
But one cannot overemphasize how it is stressful. Because surgery, you are too deprived. You are deprived of everything. Everything deprived. You will just and I was taking, I think I was completing my, I was taking, this thing, PhD also.
Okay.
So, everything was in charge. I was taking PhD, I was,
Now you see that, as in, I think my first rotation in general surgery was, in surgery was general surgery. Then, my first call was a repeat procedure. We started that surgery around 8 in the evening. We ended that surgery 4:30 a.m. in the morning.
I was going to 30 was 1 hour.
God, that thing withstood. That surgery is just one hell of a surgery. I just told my colleague that, I beg, I don't want to take this kind of surgery again to like finish this game. So anyone will come and look for another person. Then after everything now, then at a point, I now became the most senior person in the unit. Then few of my colleagues, they will just somehow just turn up their phone. They won't get to them again. And then the person that they will now call is me. I will now go and be doing somebody else's work. So I'm not in that period, seriously. So I'm not in that period.
When I think that I like the surgery and then I think it was around also the time that I just had the serious in campus and just really like not come to work. Like I was coming to the place.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I'll be able to just enter the bus and just be doing. I told him my bank account and I had to pay and people wouldn't get me anyway. Yeah, it's not coming to
Oh no, the first in surgery is a different thing.
But it was definitely the PEP thing. PEP is working like me psychiatric conditions. So that was like the working and everything. The moment I made it to myself, I wanted to jump back. And because the place was calm, that's why I didn't jump. Oh God, you never do that thing when it is calm. When it's not calm, you go. Let the place be scattered downstairs.
You have to be scattered so that you won't jump.
Yeah. So,
but somehow I usually think that I'm probably the stress during that period too much.
But the funny thing is this, I don't know how stressed I am until I break down. So as long as So I told them if there's adrenaline, but I cannot burn it.
Okay.
It's the physical manifestation of adrenaline. So the tremors, everything, because there's so much adrenaline, but there's nothing to use it for.
Yeah.
But if there's adrenaline and I can use it, like you said, the adrenaline is just keeping you going. I will just be going. Like I'll just be on a. I just be going. I just be doing everything. I just be doing everything. The moment the adrenaline is finished and the glucose finished and everything is finished, I will just drop. I mean, there's a day that Doctor this man, yes, left man, this corona surgeon. He told me Thursday consultancy.
Yeah.
I've been working. I did EMS, came back to this general surgical. I was doing like back to back call and everything. And that day, I just entered. I just get ready. Like that, I just dropped. Like I just said, you know, this is my work. Don't come back to my work. I'm like, because I ordered you. So go and eat and sleep. I was not seeing you back here until I think this 12 or 6. It was 12 now. When we know that by now.
Yeah.
But I was not seeing you back here until 12 when you are there. If I still come back and you have not rested you.
Ah no, the stress in that place.
You go back like and the guy was like right now like the stress you get like I have to come back and like I was telling them like so let's do that and it was very bad. I want to go and sleep it. I think I'm doing everything to sleep. I sleep very well.
Ah, you sleep very well, eh?
When I finally came back, now look at me going, oh, are you okay now? It's fine. I'm very, very fine. Come up and do my life. Yeah.
Ah, Dr. John Falaji, I think he's one of the nicest consultants in general. Although I wouldn't want to compare the stuff then, but Dr. Falaji is equally nice. Extremely nice actually.
All of them are nice.
One person I don't like there is so Ige.
Dr. Jana Atabize.
Dr. Ige, during my colleague with that man, after he finished documentation, he will come back and read it word for word. Start telling him what is it. And the thing is really
okay, I think there are different ways to work with them. Okay, I think it was Doctor, they know me for where I was around university.
Yeah.
I was still teacher. I never write right after. I was just and I would never write it. Do you know what he does? Like, I'd like a comment. Come on, I would never do that to the other person. Up to the point that in between I saw a patient during course, one of my last course.
Yeah.
I saw a patient. Then it was a breast patient in emergency, and the bed was filled up, we were busy. So I was with Dr. Van and I was going to be very interested and just to the patient. So I want to go and see the patient in the emergency.
Okay.
After seeing the patient and everything, I just said, okay, this is my plan. So I just broke my plan to start the patient to my PS and clinic. I looked at the medication for the patient to go and do to my PS and clinic.
Yeah.
So now I obviously I do what I used to do just all the city around the afternoon.
Yeah.
After that, because I've done on the medicine, I went to clinic. I got a call. Doctor, I feel this is very. I was trying to see them. I was like, I do like that. I was like, sir, you saw my patient. I was like, yes, sir. You look investigated my patient, yes, sir. You see, so I was like, when did you confirm this your plan with? I was like, sir. But I know this is a very good plan. But you didn't do your city. Yeah, so because of that, like, there's that confidence. Anywhere I see me, there's like, I'll be like, okay, and I'm not expecting a patient in front of
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it was there. I was so angry. So I threatened, not threatened, I was very attractive. And I was like, yeah, you can't do this to doctor. You can't do. And I did it. I knew I was done. I just said, I do not. I started doing this. Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody have different skills and different things. I mean, the technology is very meticulous. It
Yeah.
doesn't just what you have done. So, no matter how well you do your job, you will still go through it all over again. And it's too much time for you. That's one thing I can, other people are doing it, to be like, the technology thing, you can never finish it.
You
Because
can't finish
when
it.
you finish flirting, you come out and reflect the thing, right?
That's what it does actually.
Yeah.
And the thing is that
It is still kind and trying to think and everything, but it's just
he's very kind, and I also think that patients actually misuse that kindness because during his clinic anytime at all, and he has this load of pride to actually see as in pride of patient take note. Then maybe if he's almost getting through with finishing the case note on his table, you not having new patients coming in after close hour of work. I don't understand. 4 o'clock, you are not yet in your clinic. What are you coming to do around 5 o'clock for God's sake? And I'm not saying, no, I don't say I will see them. That's something I can never do. No, 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 no. I've learned with attitude that have that principle of time, and I've learned it. Like, it's kindness to you, it's kindness to people you are working with, and it's kindness to your patients. Yeah.
Like, because you're not seeing them tired. And I have to convert and say it's just 20% than 10. And they'll see that 20. But you know, at that 20 that they see, they will give the best attention, the best treatment, the best management.
Yeah.
And even if you're working with the person, you're not grumpy after work. You have more energy after work to have, that means that coke and drink and drink.
Yeah, that's true.
Or like
That's
you
true.
miss training and get the judgment. That's what they use that kind of thing and do residency. Because I also don't work in Ghana inside them.
Okay.
For since it's consultants, I would love to work with them.
Okay.
Maybe at SR level or something, but not as a result because I'll just die. I'll definitely be in the strategic thing.
Actually, and then the hands in Benue State is
so cute. I rather go somewhere that there's lots of arms,
Yeah, you know that as in the more hands they have, the lesser the workload
and
affecting.
again because of my own peculiarity again. So
Yeah, you wouldn't want to.
That there's a balance with the adrenaline and the stress and everything. Not program that will start and maybe speak to the end. Yeah. So after surgery, you went to CPR.
Yeah, this is my last question.
Yeah, I was CPR.
Yeah. So pediatrics was fun. Compared to internal medicine again, I would prefer pediatrics.
Maybe we know that internal medicine is the last one. We come on the list. Okay.
Now you see that. I think when I started pediatrics the first day, it took me close to 2 hours to type one line.
Okay.
Like seriously. In short, that line I didn't even type it. It was Dr. Moleku that came to my person because I was on call with him. That was my first call. So I asked myself that Omugo, I thought you are very good in typing of lines and all of that. So what's happening here? And I said, don't worry, I'll just be jumping in lines for some days. Let me see how it goes. So then after a while I got comfortable with handling those babies. The challenge I had that first day was the baby was so like the baby was crying so much and I was not used to their crying. So it was like I was doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So I wasn't concentrating again. I was concerned as in my concern was the cry instead of putting my attention on typing the line. So it took me a while, and and then Dr. Babalola Bibi was very, very effective that period because he's very good in line taking, So he come
all the previous ones that we see and never learned, it was Bibi that I was just
no,
the one that you use water to cook it, when you cook out.
Like that. He has
Sit and how is it? You can't understand what I'm talking about.
yeah. So that having he's very, very good in handling those babies lines and all of that. So that was my first hand experience. Then after a while I got comfortable with the people around. But then when I was actually coming, a few half officers told me that the nurses there in Unita are not friendly. But I'm getting there. I think it has to do with how they related with those nurses.
I don't think so. No, there are some cases where the ideas the nurses are not friendly.
Okay.
That I miss the nurses not being friendly.
Okay.
But me, my approach to any case is in mind their life. I really do go to remind everybody, make everybody feel good, make everybody feel better about themselves. And I mostly have an area, like there are one or two people that they are naturally have their problems. Like
Okay.
there's no amount of warming up to the person that
That
will
will
mean their
work.
problem.
Yeah.
But I really don't have a lot of people. The nothing to see that it. I really don't have problem. If any of them see me outside, they are also happy to see me.
So even if I never had issues with any one of them, but there is this one, I don't know, he's young, yes, young. And then, but then,
So I think the one I have to do is, the internet.
the influence, this one is the nurse, so I think she's a staff already. So this, I think there's a way to just carry herself, but later on I just saw that she just has things, not that she's doing it to actually get at anybody at all. But then I think towards the ending part of my stay here, I think it's going to some extent. Yeah, I think it's going to some extent. But then, but there was one experience I had with her, and then the way she spoke to me, I told her, I said, if I want man, I'm going to marry this man. Oh, like seriously, it was terrible. The way she spoke to me, then, just because I want to, anyway, she has her reasons. You understand? Sometimes you won't know what somebody is actually going through at that time that they are talking to you. So most likely it's just a thing of transfer of aggression. So if you say you want to now act on it, you are only pouring kerosene into fire and all of that. So
Not because of my name, but fight inside. I don't like that, not because of inside, but there's fight. I also because it's a quick fight, there has to be a fight to. This is when the king of our prayer that I like everything the standing with the scatter. Once you show me you can scatter something, there is no scatter. I will not, after, once you show me what you can scatter something, I know it happens. You will scatter it. You will throw it to the floor, you will destroy it, and you will not build up from there.
but I think if the two of you are blowing hot, this thing is not going to be fine again now.
Exactly. If you scatter, you must scatter everything. So I'm not saying you part of the corridor and the thing you leave out in. Then now it's both of us to be called together.
Do you know that?
You now put it in prison, or you do not mountain and her doctor protest you, what you do that day, I do not like it, now for any time, like us to do, and this was what we are, you have to now see injuries, so why both of us do not do what we like, concerning. But I don't like, I'm going to stop keeping quiet for the sake of peace or me. I will stop it. Because if you keep eating at me,
Okay.
it is stressing me.
Okay.
So, like, if I don't talk about it and get it out, I will be stressed. If you keep eating at me, it is stressing me. I want to have a conversation. All of a sudden, I can't walk beside you now. I have to do. I was everything of the truth. You think I have mental health problem, you don't have mental health problem. So, we talk about it. Let me people know the reason why I'm talking because I thought it's let me talk about it. Let me become my beg on my behalf. Maybe it hit me mentally. I'm not carrying ivory. I'm not going to really I'm very very nice and gentle and patient. There's a particular owner that everything is turned into tears. I need everything to change. If you see me, I'll do that now and after I next week I'll not do it again. It was just cut out. It's not cut out. It's really to take a look at it. Don't make that nothing.
Anyway, as that means you really have a strong heart because if it is me like this, anytime I have a misunderstanding with somebody, I don't go back home and sit there. So I usually avoid problems.
No, that's why I make some both of us don't go into sleep.
If it is me that actually go down that length, down that road, I will still not have a good sleep.
I'm not saying I'm not have a good sleep.
Okay.
I'm saying that both of us not have good sleep. You understand? Because of this fight, you already scattered my mental health, you scattered my space, my sanity, my mind space is left. But I know that it will affect me and you will not go scot-free. No. It must cover both of us. Depending on the kind of day it's happening. And depending on how good my control is. If it's starting a very bad day, I will start fighting with you and I will come back. Now you go on thinking about how you cause problem for me. No. I'm actually very, very serious. I'm not really good. I can't be stressed alone. Both of us to be stressed. I must, like, you must look at me and be angry. Oh, it's a thing. And what from again is that, oh, I see that you not go to therapy. You know, I don't make my therapist and talk to my therapy. Then I now do dating exercise, the therapist will not talk to me, now do counseling, guidance, and now to take your problem. Like, you don't have therapy. This is to tell you.
Anyway, sir, you should try and be avoiding problems.
That's for you. This is not matter about. This is not a good advice. I'm very sure my therapist hearing this. It just goes like, no, this girl is not getting better. How was the part of pediatrics?
The first part of pediatrics neonatology. Yes, the neonatal ward was the place where I'm usually comfortable around the baby, the newborn. So I feel I am contributing to exactly, and then actually contributing to that crucial part of their life. You understand? Exactly, and then I used to like the testimony of the neonatology consultant of how they will say, this baby, I managed this baby for like 3 months, and now the baby is in university. They're even calling me and telling me thanks and all of that.
I think that's the thing with children, especially that once you get better, especially neonatal, you would see that thankfulness forever.
As in, their parents will be telling you.
Keep reminding you of it. This is a child now.
Exactly.
I'm serious. There's a day, I think 2 weeks ago, I was happy in that one. I said, I could have seen him now. Now, when I went back to him now, I used to like miss him. Because how can I be now? I'm just but he said I could have seen him now. And I was like, why are you waiting at him? He was like, doctor, that was me. I was like, could have seen him. I'm not trying to like,
you are trying to look at just to.
I don't know doctor in the market, Ogoba. I have heard doctor. I just doctor, like women say like the child that you take care of. I don't like the fact that you say your child. Like what you take care of that child.
They will now call the child your child.
Your child is fine and everything. That's a refreshing thing to find out.
It's really nice.
So I'm not doing it.
Even if I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Those videos are so fragile.
Like when I do not like always you're not offering the baby, you're actually offering the baby because you just neonatal care like this. The baby is just like that night from labor ward, you're just bringing him, we're just admitting the baby because of anesthesia. Only for the next delivery the first time. And I don't know what I should do. What you are not video.
And then maybe you're not trying the next day.
I was so happy. Why? How did you come? What was laughing there? Because I was angry. I had to come and take line, come and take medication. And the book, I was very beautiful. You call your crying now. You could have tried it yesterday when you did it. But no, you did not cry.
You're not crying now.
You're not crying now. And you cannot go. You must complete something and have it back. So why are you just crying?
I I had one bad call like that in Unita one time. What's the name of that man? Is it is it Mr. Anyway, I've forgotten the man's name.
Yeah.
But then he had a triplet. So they visited the clinic, and then after checking their blood level, PCV, it was now low for their age. So they asked us to transfuse the baby, three of them. I know how neonatal transfusion is.
Yeah.
You transfuse an aliport. So that night it was me on the television. Then I had to carry each of the baby, started line for them, all three of them. We waited for blood until about 9 p.m. 9 p.m. they brought the blood. We now started transfusing. One of the babies' line gave us a lot of silence. I was there fighting that line. Lizzie was transfusing two babies. I was panicked. It was crazy. Now, this transfusion didn't just happen. All the babies, from baby number one to number six, were all coming. Seriously, like, they reached hell that night. And just when we finished that transfusion for all three babies, it was 3 a.m. It was 3 a.m. And then after going to bed to go and sleep for a while, a knock knocking on the door. Emergency place. I say, God, this one is people. For them, sir, they actually survived. And that transfusion was so bloody. Every year was just blood, blood, blood. You know how that thing is
I think
now.
that is the weakest physics I ever witnessed on one I did it.
I now then I think later on I now devised a means that I could do things very clean and neat, and then my colleagues were not even asking me, after how you take do this thing. I just told them how, and the thing was so like very, very clean work. But that day that those children came, there's no way I could have done it thing.
That means that if it was me and people did this to the person, I would have gotten to emergency the next morning.
That night we didn't sleep.
And I got it in emergency.
In fact, it was after having medication that blood now came.
I ate transfusion during my time. Any transfusion I need to do, so you get
During working hours.
I will not transfuse. I can do EDC during my time.
Yeah.
Because I know that you will be appreciated to do EDC and everything. I can do EDC during my time. You see transfusion during my time. No.
That's nice.
So if it is clear, I can do clear transfusion during my time. But you need that. Yeah.
You just sit there and be pushing some small stuff because you don't want to.
I ate that injection.
It's
nice.
It's stressful.
I prefer EBC. I prefer EBC to that aliport, female aliport. I eat that thing.
Nothing. There's no way you can equal. Like there's no way you can watch it.
But I think it is EBC. EBC is 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. That will be easy.
No, you don't see it. So this one, you are putting 50 minutes inside, and you want to transfuse like say maybe 40 or 50 minutes.
How will somebody know that? Anyway, now that you are an MA, last week, what are the future plans for you? What is the future looking like for you?
Okay.
Medical and non-medical system, because I know you talk about freelancers and freelancers. What's the plan?
Okay. Medical future. Although during my household, I had wanted to take my primary exam in surgery, but then somehow, I got reluctant because I felt I wasn't studying. So there will be no need going to register for the exam for 100K and not go and pass in one sitting. So I have to leave it. But then now I want to write my primary next year for to do together, right? Okay. So then after that I want to start a residency program of which I've already applied, hoping that they will consider me before my primary. Then I also intend to diversify. I don't want to be doing nursing alone because I feel this monthly pay is not really paying at all. I don't understand. I want to collect one money like that, then before month and that money is finished, I will not be looking for another one coming again. So I want to go into fashion.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. So I just have a clothing line.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe shoes and jewelry.
Okay.
Then I also want to settle down with the love of my life.
Okay. Yeah, I have to ask, how is your this balance in a relationship with someone that is not real, with like looking at like miles away from you and you're real, with the fully work schedule and the calls and everything? I was ask, is the person in the medical line?
No, 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 no.
So now my second one is like, how are you able to like navigate the long distance?
Okay.
One and two, how are you able to like explain the complexity of this medical career to non-medical personnel? Trying to like still make the best of this.
Okay. Actually, it's a bit difficult because distance is one thing that destroys relationship. Especially when there's distance and then there are no means of communication.
Okay.
They say if you want to kill a relationship, that you should remove communication out of it and gradually it dies. So how we actually balance this thing, we try to make phone calls often, and then later on when I got my phone, because my phone was really bad then.
Yeah, I
Later on
remember
when I
your
now
first life
replaced,
phone.
exactly. Then when I now replaced my phone, I started doing video calls, and then that really helped a lot to a lot to manage the distance
Yeah.
thing. But still, it wasn't really easy at all. Just at times they would call me and tell me that I think she's tired if you want to see me and all of that. Sometimes they just call and say that actually but this video call is not even sweet again. That kind of thing. And it's like all you know, they ask you that. She came here a couple of times, I think twice, and the expenses was so much. Like, comfort from Benue to this place is really expensive. Like, going and coming alone will cost me like 45 to 50,000 naira going and coming. And then not to talk of, now, when your woman is around, you want to make her comfortable. That kind of thing. So, she came twice. But then I was supposed to go to Benue within this my period of posting. But I'm this kind of person that don't love traveling. I just like once I'm in the place and I just see that the people there are friendly and I'm comfortable, I just stay and then have my life there. But that truth is that part I love traveling. So I just say after coming tomorrow and now there's something we can say. So there was one time like that, the place we wanted to come and we now arguing. We now made a statement. I wish you are not taking the woman here already. I feel, please, oh, baby, why will you say that kind of a thing? She said, I said I want to come now, but you're not allowing me to come. Then, after a while, I explained to her that it's a reason why I don't want you to come. Is because I'm not financially doing and I need you to understand. So, as soon as they pay, I will send the transfer to come over. Then, after about 2 days or so, I heard that they say, so I said, oh yeah, I will send transfer. So, but then it wasn't really, really easy. There was at a point he told me that somebody was at ex was now trying to portray some of my attributes that is not seeing my kind of person inside of him. And I said, how now that he's not texting her frequently, he's not calling full frequent, he's always around. I think I should block this guy. I think I should block this guy. Man, she wouldn't want to block this dude. And then I wasn't comfortable with this dude being around her always. So At some point, she now went for holiday at home, and then this child was just all over her. She was buying her gifts, just like she said, this dude is just doing the things I used to do when I was around. And the thing was now getting to her. Yeah. So it was not getting to her. So now, so this, she don't take things away from me. So now said her that, babe, if you don't block this time, I will recover with you every day. She said, oh, she doesn't want to hurt the guy, right? I said, do you love this boy? It's been like 4 years since you guys started. And we've been together like 4 years, 6 months. How far? So, I can't now. You don't know. See, I think that's the fun thing about relationships. Remembering the first day you asked her out and how it all played out that particular day. You understand? So, you take note of that period, and the memory sometimes is sweet. But then when you start thinking of some funny aspects, you can just laugh. So, I can't. I can't. Then, I think so far so good. We've been in a relationship for 4 years, 6 months, like I said. And we are supposed to settle down next year. Have you decided on a place? Are you deciding to like settle down together or to do it in one place, in another place? See, if you want your family to be, I don't have to define it, to be something else, you guys should live apart. It is, it is a no-no for me. If I'm going to London today to practice, the numbers of months I'm going to spend there should not be more than 6 months before my wife will join me. Because if it takes too long, something else will start kicking in, and we wouldn't want that to happen. You don't believe FMC the action? No, it's not for me at all. Like seriously, it's not for me. Like, okay now, I didn't I had my chance or we are married. I would have asked her to come to work to join me. Yes, I would have asked her to come to join me. And she says she knows that I don't like couples staying apart because of job, because of work. Having is a no-no for me. In short, for me like this, I know that we have like our hearts are not same, and then it is flesh and blood. So if I stay away from my house for a long time and somebody else is now coming closer to me, I see this person every day. You talk every day, you laugh every day, go out, do this, do that together. Dude, a time will come, you will know when you start having feelings for that person. It's the same thing that actually happened to her. You know, she had a connect with her ex already before. So rekindling that connection will be easy. So I didn't actually blame her because I knew that my actions was the reason for yes, it was creating to come and feel exactly. And same thing too will happen to me if I stay away from her and a lady. But then I think the best thing I actually did there was to avoid um female friends. Although I have a few, but I try to put my relationship into it first so that they know. If I know that some ladies, if they have interest in you, they wouldn't even mind. You understand? They wouldn't mind. But then the first thing I would just do is to let them know that okay, I'm in a relationship. Because I bring my relationship into the picture as early as possible so that I don't have this chance to start thinking things in my head. So that when that period of thinking to start coming, I will now know that okay, oh, I've already blocked this one already. I cannot go back and tell this person that I like her again. You understand? So that's how I actually set myself away from two ladies. Yeah. Then there's this question you mentioned. I've forgotten already, but I don't know if I've attended to all of your questions. Um, Anyway, if I remember again, I'll just explain it.
So we've been like if I we recorded for like close to an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so like our plans like do like of editing and everything, but that song that has been such a wonderful experience. The stories are like amazing, but then such a wonderful experience, talking to you and getting to know some of the things about us that we do. So I just want to ask a random question to
Okay.
cover our follow. But let's do this. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color
Yeah.
is purple.
Purple.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's
I love purple and then navy blue.
maybe blue.
Yeah.
It's like totally local colors.
Yes, exactly. I love purple because it represents loyalty.
That's just
Exactly. But my love for navy blue, I don't even know why, but I just like it. Yeah.
So I know you're living on very soon.
I'll be traveling on Sunday.
Oh,
I have, and hopefully I'll be back in the residency program here in Owo. Yeah.
You keep the best. It was really nice having you on this episode, and they really like knowing you as a person.
Thank you for having me.
Alright, guys. So until next episode, bye.